Excuse me, are you a building inspector?
No, I'm not.
Well, I was hoping that you were. What are you doing with that hole? It sure looked like you were examining the concrete up there.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, I was. But I'm just doing it for a friend of mine who lives in the building.
Oh, I'm really glad. The concrete up there doesn't look so good. Even I can tell that. Ever since Champlain Towers collapsed, people are really nervous. And it's all over the news about the salt water creeping into the foundations. This building is just about the same age now.
It's a big problem up and down all the coastal towns in South Florida, Broward County, and beyond.
Our condo board is talking about hiring some engineering firm. Yeah. This parking garage seems like it's in pretty bad shape. And it holds up the whole complex, Tower A and Tower B.
Good. I'm glad they're on the ball. They really need to act right away.
Well, the inspection report just 2 years ago said that the deterioration was basically okay. Just needed to be watched.
Yeah. Anyway, they should hire a good engineering firm right away.
You seem to know something about construction.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have good news for your friend. Maybe he can tell the board or put it in the condo newsletter.
Yeah, maybe.
What's your friend's name?
Bill Johnson.
Which unit is he living in?
Oh, it's up on the 12th floor. I don't remember what.
Which tower?
Tower B.
Well, I don't want to bother you. It's great that Bill Johnson asked you to do this. Oh, our board can move pretty slowly. 98 people died in Champlain Towers. How sad.
I know.
People here are really nervous. Some people can't sleep. Some have even moved out. But you can't get a good price for any of these units right now.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry about Champlain Towers. Honestly, I'm sorry about everything.
Well, hope I see you around.
You really brought out the alcohol tonight, Jerry.
Yeah, we're gonna need it. We are basically fucked. Really fucked. You went over to Champlain Tower, Tom? Del Mar?
Yeah, geez. I looked at all 3 levels of the parking garage, the south and the east walls. But I couldn't look at everything. There were too many people.
Yeah? What'd you think?
There's even more deterioration. The concrete's chipped away, that skimpy rebar. It's going to be totally obvious to anyone who knows anything about construction. And when they look at the photos of our inspection, they'll see in a second that rebar problem was there all along.
Yeah, I looked around too. It's bad, bad, bad.
And I talked to one of the residents here. She said the condo board's looking into hiring an engineering company.
Well, it's no surprise on that. Everyone's just scared shitless.
My God, I wish we'd never approved that last inspection. We knew there were big problems.
Yeah, well, we would have looked like pussies. Up and down the coast, none of the inspectors were making a fuss. All the reports said the same thing. The deterioration should be carefully monitored. Nothing more than that. Most of the condos went up in the 70s, the go-go years. Builders were cutting corners, inspectors were taking payoffs when the work wasn't done right.
Jerry, but Del Mar has that terrible drainage under the swimming pool. That's an extra problem.
Ugh, what's the remediation on that gonna cost?
20 million, maybe 25. And they're gonna have to empty the entire building for at least a year or two.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for scapegoats, and we're high on that list.
Well, what about the builder?
Yeah, sure, they can go after McPherson, but they're not gonna be able to get anything. That building's been sold 3 times.
Yeah, but it will be easy to stomp on our butts.
We are sitting ducks.
Yeah, they know the swimming pool drainage was a big issue at Champlain Towers, and the first buildings to look at are the ones made by AKM Associates, subcontracted with pools. There's just a few of those, and Del Mar is one.
Well, Jerry, it was you who did the inspections, and Alan, you signed off on Jerry's work and the data. I didn't do anything. I barely even looked at the report, and I never left the office.
But you signed off on everything. You're our boss, the one who's supposed to have the most expertise, the best judgment. Your title, if I remember right, is Director of Permits and Inspections, not ridiculously unqualified, politically connected Director of Permits and Inspections. The shit just hit the fan, and that's all 3 of us.
Well, so what's gonna happen?
Well, we'll never work in inspections again. That's for sure. Probably lawsuits. When the lawyers figure out they can't get big money out of McPherson, they're gonna go after the city, everyone else. For sure, even us.
Criminal charges?
Maybe. Maybe not. It's hard to say. After Champlain Towers, it's definitely possible.
You know, the hammer doesn't need to go down on all 3 of us.
What are you saying, Jerry?
Well, one of us can take the blame. For example, one of us could say they falsified the Del Mar data, mislabeled the photographs. There's no reason for all 3 of us to go down.
Are you volunteering?
Alan, it's time you figured out how the world operates. I'm not volunteering, but I'll do it for the right compensation. Unlike you 2, I'm no pillar of the community. My background is full of questionable stuff. Ha! I know the inspection business, but my personal morality was a red flag for a lot of planning departments. It didn't bother you, Bobby.
My job was supposed to be wander into the office around 10 o'clock, schmooze with the developers or 1 or 2, sign a few permits, and then leave for home around 3.
Well, that's what it was. Sitting around in your leather chair, making the big bucks. Meanwhile, me and Jerry were stuck in traffic jams, squeezing ourselves into those damn crawl spaces.
Okay, so you 2 have reputations to protect. Bobby, Roger's big with the local Democrats, and you've got kids in high school, and you're something important with the art museum. Alan, you and Camilla are active in your church. You have married kids living in town. You're not high society like Bobby here, but you're known, respected. Now me, I'm definitely known in some bars, and I'm highly respected in some bedrooms.
So what do you want?
Bobby, I figure you and Roger can easily spare $700,000. I mean, easily. Well, easily enough given the circumstances.
Well, what would we get?
Well, I tell the world that I falsified all the reports, changed the numbers. Everyone will suspect I was getting payoff money, but they won't find evidence of payoffs because there are none. Al and I were taking money, we were just going with the flow, not stirring up trouble for ourselves. If I take the blame, you 2 won't get much attention. You look like you weren't very good at your jobs, but you won't be targets for prosecution. You won't be easy targets for lawsuits. It's not gross negligence if you were deceived. And you won't be shamed before the community. That has to be worth $700,000.
Well, you know, Roger can't just write you a check. 700,000.
There are ways to pay me. There are ways.
And how do we know that you will follow through?
Well, I'll sign a complete statement taking the blame. I'll even give you a video. It was all me. I tricked the other folks in the office. If there are more Del Mar situations, and there will be, you can pin it all on me.
I'll need to talk to Roger, of course. But it sounds okay. We may just do that.
All right, drinks all around.
Wait. What about Alan? He just gets a free ride?
Camilla and I, we don't have anything like 700K. We both know that.
I do know that. You barely make the payments on her Lexus. But don't worry, you'll pay me. That internet business you're always talking about, I get it all. You give me the complete business plan, you sign a non-disclosure agreement with a no-compete clause. I get you a promise that you'll forget all about doing it.
Yes. Okay. It's a solid plan. I'm sure you can run with it, Jerry. It'll be a real moneymaker for you. I'll give you everything. Marketing strategy, documents, the whole thing.
Great, we have it all worked out. I'd say you two are lucky. But if I'm not behind bars, I'll have a lot of money to spend. I'm good with that bet. I sure don't worry about shaking hands with no minister as I'm walking out of church on a Sunday morning.
So we're done here?
We're done. That's right. Go home, Alan. You dodged a bullet today. Bobby needs to stay a while. I have to explain some stuff about the money transfers so she can tell Roger how to do it.
Okay, I'll be as good as my word about handing over the business plan. I'll never work in inspections again, and hopefully it won't get any worse than that. Look at that, Bobby. Turns out you were pretty smart bringing in this ne'er-do-well to help our business.
Adios, Alan.
You must think I am stupid. So, I smell a rat here. There's some kind of setup going on. You're taking Alan's ecotourism idea at the equivalent of my $700,000? You know, 15 years ago, maybe that ecotourism idea might have been something. But Alan didn't do anything with it. He just sat around daydreaming. It never turned into anything. And now, there's a whole bunch of those acts out there. I don't believe that you took that bet with him, made that deal with him. Something else is going on here. So tell me, what is it?
Well, you know he doesn't have a lot of money.
He's got plenty of money. He could easily scare up $50,000, $25,000 for sure. I just can't believe you made that deal with him. What is really going on here, Jerry?
All right. I did make my deal, but my deal's with Camilla, not with Alan. When I get your $700,000, Camilla and I are off to Cuba. No litigation for me, no fear of indictment, no more U.S. legal system at all. Cuba Libre. Free in Cuba. As free as anyone could be in that fucked up place. Camilla's Cuban on his mother's side, and the family was never political. She's welcome back there. And Camilla's a hot one, but she's tired of Alan. Their kids are out of the house. She's ready to do something different. And she's already tried a few new things, if you know what I'm saying. I'll have a sweet life living in Cuba with $700,000 in Camilla.
You're such a sleaze, Jerry.
Yeah, well, you see why I wanted a simple plan, an easy deal with Alan? He's paying me, just not in dollars. You've got no gripes, Bobby. You got your deal, and it's a good deal.
All right. Well, I guess I'm okay with this. You know, Cuba's so poor. There's not even anything to buy down there.
Yeah, that's not a problem for someone with $700,000. Government officials will be very cooperative, and the people in Cuba are very friendly, especially when you're with a classic Cuban.
No, I'd take another, but I don't want to risk a DUI. I'm a respectable woman in this community with a reputation to protect.
All right.
You know that.
Suit yourself. I'll down one for the both of us.
Thanks.
I was surprised you wanted to meet me. Not disappointed. I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy at all, just surprised. You know, me, Bobby, Jerry, that Jerry Hastings, we're all over social media and the South Florida news, and not in a good way. Never in my life. Nothing prepared me for this. I guess it wasn't hard for you to find my phone number.
I hope this meeting doesn't add to your discomfort. That's not my intent at all. I just need to know some things. When you were banging on the ceiling in our garage, that must have had something to do with Hastings' confessions. You know, when it hit the news, I could see in a minute that you're Alan Derling and that you worked with Hastings for the city. Well, Alan, there's no one named Bill Johnson at Del Mar, William Johnson. Oh, I don't care why you lied. I just wanted you to know that I'm pretty sure I figured it out. I think you pressured Hastings into confessing and saying he did the phony inspections. Everything is going to move a lot faster for us now. We're all going to be safer. You didn't need to lift a finger for us, but you cared about us. People you didn't even know, except for me. Anyway, I wanted to tell you I figured it out, and I wanted to thank you, myself and for everyone at Del Mar.
Mimi, you have some of it right, but not everything.
Then tell me the rest.
Oh, I can't do that.
I don't need to know the details. I can only imagine all the secret stuff. Maybe it's never going to get out. But I think you're a hero. I think a lot of people should be grateful to you right now.
You're giving me credit I don't deserve. I'm no hero. I'm a man with some big flaws, just like Del Mar.
But you do care about people. You do want to protect people. Tell me that's not true.
That much is true.
Alan, I don't want you to think I'm coming on to you. I know from TV that you're married and you have grown children. Your wife is a beautiful woman.
The TV news it's not quite up to date. I'm married to Camilla, but not for long. She left me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Must not have been able to take all the publicity.
No, it's something different. Anyway, I'm unattached.
Well, this is a surprise. I was married, but my husband died 3 years ago. We were very happy, and he was a good man.
I'm sorry. But hey, why don't we just head off somewhere for an early lunch? A nice quiet restaurant. Maybe I'd like to get to know you better.
I truly like that. I won't ask any more questions about Del Mar or your wife. We'll find new topics of conversation.
Yes, new topics. I am ready for new topics, new everything. Now, I don't want us to get ahead of ourselves, but you should probably know. The residents of Del Mar, both towers, they're going to have to find somewhere else to live while they do the construction, the swimming pool, both towers, all that rebuilding.
That sounds like it could take a long time.
Oh yes, a long time. I have one other thing to tell you. I don't want to sound presumptuous, but I have a really nice condo. And it's just recently missing one woman.